So we're going to change things up with content here today. We're going to do more of a off the script, kind of conversation style video. I kind of want to diversify my content, but include a bit more of these videos talking about what's going on in the NBA, not as much scripted and like storytelling as some of the other videos I've made. Maybe in the future I'll have this with a face cam, but right now you're just going to see a stock image of LeBron and stuff at the All-Star game. So I wanted to talk about the All-Star game because obviously that happened last night and give my thoughts on it, given everything that's going on with the pandemic and, what my thoughts on the whole weekend were in general. So I'll start off by saying this. The NBA dodged a huge bullet with the whole Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons news, because if the barber got tested positive Monday today, or they found out he tested positive today, and you essentially put Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, who were close contacts, and you threw them in the All-Star game, it would have been essentially worst case scenario for the NBA, where you have essentially the 25 best players in the league out of commission for at least a week, maybe even two, and if one of these players or multiple of these players got COVID from this event, it could have possibly damaged the whole reputation of the NBA for a long time, because this was seen as an unnecessary event, and risking players' safety just for some extra money would have been worth it in the eyes of many NBA fans and even the NBA players who didn't like the idea to begin with. So, dodged the bullet on that. Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons have both tested negative, and the report's saying that they could possibly come back Thursday. So, hope everything goes with them. Hope the barber who got COVID feels better. So, let's talk about the actual All-Star events. First was the Skills Challenge, which Domantas Sabonis won. The Skills Challenge in general is cool. I enjoy it. I don't think it's anything too special, but I like the Skills Challenge. It also kind of shows how much the NBA has advanced in the past, half decade or so, with a lot of these big men winning it. I also feel in general, every time they have the Skills Challenge, it's always, the person you least expect it to wins it. I don't think many people expected Sabonis to win, and last year Bam Adebayo won, so it's cool that you're getting these different winners, and it's cool. It's not, super amazing, but I enjoy it. Next was the three-point contest. I think Steph Curry just proved what everyone else believed, that he's the greatest three-point shooter in the league. I was also surprised by Mike Conley's performance. I know he's a solid three-point shooter. I was kind of shocked when he did as well as he did, because I was like, what? Is Mike Conley that good from three? He's shooting 42%, so he is better than I thought, but I was kind of surprised because, I didn't think he would show up like he did, but kudos to Mike Conley. And Steph Curry, fate of the universe on the line, the Martians pointing the death beam down on Earth, he hit the shot. Max Kellerman didn't think he could do it, and he did it. So, Skills Challenge, three-point contest were all cool. I think my two main problems with the All-Star weekend, or All-Star Sunday, were with the individual game and the dunk contest. So I'll start with the game. I'll say what I liked first before I go into the negatives. Really enjoyed the whole three-point shooting, back and forth that Steph Curry and Dame Lillard had. Both of them had half-court shots, and they were just shooting the lights out. So that was enjoyable to watch. I liked the Steph Curry and Chris Paul dunks. That's one thing I do enjoy about the All-Star games, that you always see these moments that just never happen in regular games, like Steph Curry and Chris Paul dunking the ball. That was cool. What else interesting happened? I'm trying to think. The jump ball between Mike Conley and Chris Paul, that was fun to watch. There were some cool moments, but in the end, it was a 20-point blowout. So, 20-point blowout can only be so exciting. I will say I do like the All-Star changes. I know this wasn't new; they had introduced it last year, but I do like the format. We've seen in the past when teams are more competitive and the game's more competitive, it is really exciting, especially that last fourth quarter. But it was cool. Nothing too special. But I'll talk about my negatives. So, when the reports came out that Kevin Durant wasn't going to be playing, I think many people were like, oh, okay, there's going to be a slight disadvantage. And then when Kevin Durant drafted his team, and he picked the players he wanted he thought were his favorite players, which is fine with him, it's his idea. And then you get the point where a lot of the better players are on LeBron's team, and Kevin Durant's team wasn't as good. And then Devin Booker is replaced by Mike Conley because he suffered an injury, and then the whole Joel Embiid COVID situation. So now you're looking at, the game is going to be a blowout because the teams were so lopsided, where three of the best players, or three of the four best players, if you want to include Kawhi and Harden, were on LeBron's team, and it showed. They had 3 dudes drop 30 points in their All-Star game. And I don't know who's the highest scorer for Team Durant, but... Okay, it was Bradley Beal. I didn't even know he was the highest scorer, but... Yeah, so... Yeah, it was a blowout because that's what happened with the teams. The way the teams are set up with Kevin Durant not playing, Devin Booker missing, Joel Embiid. KD and Joel are probably going to be their 2 best players, with the exception of maybe Kawhi and Harden. So when you take 2 of the 4 best players, 2 of the 3 best players, it's going to be a blowout. Another problem I had, for some reason, people were like complaining all over Twitter that Giannis didn't deserve the MVP, which was ludicrous. He dropped 32 points on perfect shooting. And they're like, oh, Steph Curry and Damian Lillard won. First of all, who cares who won the goddamn All-Star MVP? Like, I saw the graphic, I don't know when they showed it, but it was like, Bob Pettit had the most MVP, All-Star game MVPs. Like, do you know that? I didn't know that. Like, who? All-Star MVPs aren't used to determine whose legacy is better. It's a ceremonious award. Like, who cares? It's not like Giannis was undeserving. I mean, he shot 60 from 60 from the floor. So like, Twitter always finds a way to complain about stupid shit, but I don't know why they were like, oh, Giannis didn't deserve All-Star Game MVP. Like who cares? It's the All-Star Game. Who cares? It's the All-Star Game during a pandemic. So, those are my problems with the All-Star Game. Cool event, but like, you know, if teams were more competitive, the game would have been better. Now, my huge problem is with the dunk contest. I've had problems with the dunk contest in the past couple of years because I feel like we've reached a point where we've reached physical capability of what dunks can be done in a dunk contest. And when they announced the whole All-Star Weekend thing, or whole All-Star Sunday thing, I was really hoping that they didn't do the dunk contest because, you know, there's no fans involved, and what the dunk contest really could use is a gap year. So, because we've seen, like, over the past, like, 7 years, there's been maybe 2 good dunk contests, 2016 and 2020. Besides from that, not a lot of the dunk contests are memorable. Not a lot of the dunks are memorable. And my main issue with the dunk contest, I said this, like you said before, we've reached the capability of what humans can do dunking. There's only so much you can do dunking as a human. Like, there's only so high you can jump, so much moves you can do, and it doesn't help that there was, like, a lack of props compared to other years. Also, all over social media, there's high school kids doing dunks as crazy or even better than the ones we saw tonight. I mean, Zion at the age of 16 was doing these dunks. He was even doing, like, better dunks, like 360 dunks and stuff. So, and then there's also the Dunk King, which is a show. I don't know if it's still on, but it was like actual professional dunkers. So I really hope there wasn't a dunk contest. I don't know how Anthony Simons won. Like, I get what he was trying to do with the kiss of the dunk thing, but it didn't work. Also, none of these dunkers had ferocious dunks. Like, that's what makes a good dunk, if that makes sense. Like, when you saw Zach LaVine do his, like, through the legs windmill, or Aaron Gordon do his little 360, it was, like, ferocious. It was aggressive. Like Obi Toppin just did these little, like, finesse dunks. The closest thing we saw to a really good ferocious dunk was the Anthony Simons second round dunk with the Tracy McGrady jersey. But besides from that, like, the dunks were good, but they weren't great. Nothing really stood out. So I was really hoping they took gap year. They don't. I saw things on Twitter saying they should do a one-on-one tournament, a King of the Court thing instead, which I would be down for because, you know, I think, like, this is similar to skill challenge. We're at a point where a lot of the big men are doing guard stuff. You can have maybe like a guard pool, a big man pool, and the two play each other. Or you do a King of the Court game between, like, some all-stars to, like, 7. I don't know. But really, they just need to either change the dunk contest, like, really change it, or just get away with it and, like, alternate it with a King of the Court one-on-one tournament, because I think that would be much enjoyable, and the All-Star Weekend really needs that jolt of excitement and newness. I can't think of a better word, but that'll do it for this video. I wanted to change things up a bit for All-Star Weekend, or change things up for this video. I wanted to go a bit more off the cuff, you know, not scripted. You know, this allows me to both share my thoughts on what's going on in the NBA and, you know, allows me to upload content more consistently as I would want to. So I'm still going to do stories. I like doing those, but this just allows me to share my opinion on what's going on in today's basketball and be able to upload more consistently. So if you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos, and I'm taking a nap because I got 5 hours sleep last night. Peace.